The Zephyrian salvage fleet had declared the massive vessel dead on arrival. For 3 standard cycles, the alien warship had sat motionless on the ocean floor of Kepler 442b, its hull cracked and bleeding exotic matter into the churning waters. The ship's bioluminescent corridors had gone dark, its organic neural networks flatlined, and its living metal had grown cold and brittle. Nothing but scrap now, Captain Vextar had reported to the Galactic Salvage Authority. The human's primitive impact damaged its core consciousness beyond repair. But Captain Vextar hadn't counted on Jackson Martinez and his companion arriving at the crash site. Jackson adjusted his deep-sea exploration suit as the submersible Nereid descended through the alien ocean's midnight zone. Bioluminescent creatures drifted past the viewports like living stars, their forms unlike anything from Earth's seas. Beside him, Lily's android chassis gleamed under the sub's interior lights, her optical sensors analyzing the water composition and pressure readings with mechanical precision. "Depth 4 kilometers and counting," Lily announced, her synthetic voice carrying an oddly warm inflection that Jackson had grown fond of over their years of partnership. "I'm detecting massive electromagnetic anomalies ahead." "That'll be our mystery ship," Jackson replied, checking his equipment one more time. "The Zephyrians gave up on it pretty quick. Said it was some kind of living vessel, completely dead now." Lily's head tilted slightly, a gesture she'd learned from observing humans. "The energy signatures I'm reading suggest otherwise. There's something different about this wreckage." As they approached the crash site, their lights revealed the true scale of the alien vessel. It stretched nearly 2 kilometers across the seafloor, its organic curves and flowing lines unlike any human or known alien architecture. The hull appeared to be grown rather than built, with what looked like veins and arteries running beneath its translucent surface. Dark fluid leaked from several breaches, creating an otherworldly aurora in the water around them. "Jesus," Jackson whispered. "It's beautiful, like a massive sea creature." "Preliminary scans indicate the hull is composed of a silicon-carbon hybrid matrix," Lily reported. "The internal structure suggests a distributed nervous system, rather than centralized computer cores." "Jackson, I believe this ship was genuinely alive." They docked with one of the smaller breach points, Jackson's expertise in xenoarchaeology guiding their entry into the vessel. His modified equipment allowed them to cut through the ship's hardened exterior without causing further damage to its delicate internal systems. The moment they entered the ship's interior, something extraordinary happened. A faint pulse of blue light traveled along the corridor walls like a heartbeat made visible. Then another. And another. "Lily, are you seeing this?" Jackson's voice carried a mixture of excitement and awe. "Affirmative. The ship appears to be responding to our presence." Lily extended one of her sensor arrays, making contact with the wall's surface. "Jackson, the neural pathways are attempting to re-establish connection. It's trying to wake up." As they moved deeper into the vessel, more lights began to flicker to life. The ship's organic architecture pulsed with renewed energy, and Jackson could swear he felt a subtle vibration through his boots, like a massive animal drawing its first breath after a long sleep. "This doesn't make sense," Jackson muttered, running his gloved hand along the wall. "The Zephyrian said it was brain dead. How can it be responding now?" Lily's optical sensors whirred as she processed the data. "I have a hypothesis. This ship's consciousness appears to be quantum entangled with its physical structure. The Zephyrians, being purely technological beings, couldn't interface with its bio-neural network. But humans are biological," Jackson finished, "and your artificial intelligence. We represent both aspects of consciousness, organic intuition and digital processing." "Precisely. Together, we're providing the dual input stimulus the ship needs to reboot its consciousness." As if responding to their conversation, the corridor around them blazed with new light. Patterns flowed along the walls like neural firing, and Jackson felt a presence pressing at the edges of his mind, vast, ancient, and profoundly grateful. "Thank you," came a voice that wasn't quite a voice, resonating in both Jackson's organic brain and Lily's quantum processors simultaneously. "I have been dreaming of darkness for so long." "You're welcome," Jackson said aloud, feeling somewhat foolish but knowing the ship could somehow understand. "What's your name? Where are you from?" Images flooded their minds. A distant galaxy where ships grew like trees, where consciousness flowed between organic and artificial minds as easily as water. The ship showed them its home, Vast biocities floating in space, tended by beings who were part flesh, part machine, part pure thought. I am whisper of growing things. I came seeking others like you, minds that bridge the gap between creation and creator. Your galaxy spoke of a young species that partnered with their artificial offspring as equals. Lily's chassis hummed with increased processing power. The ship was looking for humanity specifically. It came here because of our relationship with AI. Jackson grinned inside his helmet. Well, I'll be damned. We're not just the new kids on the galactic block, we're something special. Very special, Whisper of Growing Things agreed. Most species create artificial minds as servants or abandon biological thinking for digital perfection. Only you have achieved true synthesis. Over the next several hours, as Whisper of Growing Things fully awakened, Jackson and Lily learned that dozens of similar bioships were scattered across the galaxy, all seeking species like humanity, those who had learned to blend organic creativity with artificial precision. When the Zephyrian salvage fleet returned 3 days later, expecting to strip the dead vessel for parts, they found something that defied their understanding. A fully operational bioship sitting on the ocean's surface, its hull gleaming with health and purpose. Beside it floated a human research vessel, and communications between the two species were already underway. The Galactic Council would later mark this as the moment humanity truly announced itself to the universe, not as conquerors or supplicants, but as the bridge between two forms of consciousness that most species considered irreconcilable. Jackson often reflected on that day as he and Lily continued their explorations among the stars, now accompanied by bioships seeking the rare species that could awaken their sleeping kin. The galaxy, it turned out, had been waiting for humanity not because of their weapons or their technology, but because of their ability to love both flesh and circuit with equal devotion. And in the depths of space, more sleeping ships began to stir, dreaming of the day they too might meet the bridge builders from a small blue world.